to push our employers to engage back in in-person format, because I think that that's what a lot of students are looking for. So we're really excited to have over 320 companies. I'm going to start with a little bit about what the Career Center offers. I don't know, just for those that are in the room and those that are virtual, you can use your reaction tools. How many of you have visited the Career Center? Show of hands. All right, so like 5 of those that are here in person. I didn't know any reactions that were online. I didn't see any. I don't know if they were yet. So yeah, let's talk about the Career Center. Do you know where we're located? Yes, sir. Bingo. If I had prizes, you would earn all the prizes. Yeah, so we're located in the student center, on the kind of the far, what is that going to be? That's going to be the far north end of the student center, on the bottom floor. So if you keep going north of the Career Center, the student center eventually will run into the Career Center. What we're offering appointments, so that you can go on the internet, which is our centralized career system. Hopefully, you all have seen the internet or heard about it at some point. But you can use that to set up individual appointments with career advisors like myself, with 4 other career advisors, or 3 other career advisors available to meet with as well. So that's 5 appointments. We do 30 or 60-minute appointments, and that can cover literally any career topic that you have in mind. Whether that's a resume review, cover letter review, other documents, or material review. We can talk about job strategies, we can talk about interview habits. We can talk about, it's kind of the counseling center, but we can talk about ways to reduce stress by framing up realistic goals and expectations in the job search, so kind of the career coach side, how we would help to manage that, not necessarily the psychological side. So lots of things we can do in individual appointments. If making an appointment is just not your style, we are also available for drop-ins. Now, normally our drop-ins are going to be between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., Monday through Thursday. We're doing extended hours leading up to career day. We're offering drop-ins 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So every single day leading up to career day, we're going to offer that extended drop-in service, except on 2 days where we're going to have some work. I highly recommend that you consider spending some time going by the Career Center, especially if you've never been there and you're well, I guess most of you are graduate students, right? I mean, for graduate students, I think it's great too. I know hopefully the research shows that those that are going to visit the Career Center are like almost 3 times more likely to land the job that they want to in college. So I encourage you to work with some professionals. Sometimes it's just very little tweaks to your process of pursuing the job search and pursuing the applications you're filling out to make the most of those opportunities. Other things that we're doing in Career Center are a series of workshops and presentations, things like this, when we talk about services. You might see this in the classrooms, we've seen in the last semester, potentially, where we're going to do ad hoc presentations where teachers are. We're going to do a complete workshop series leading up to Career Day. In fact, that workshop series started on Monday this week and continuing on Tuesday. We're doing both lunchtime and evening workshops. I've got some handouts on the end of this second table, the table behind me. Thank you, Katie, for being my panelist for a moment. That's a reference missed by 80% of this room. That's okay. Some of those handouts are going to have that workshop which will be on Career Day. First up, we did a LinkedIn and branding workshop last night. We did basically like starting your career search. The night before that, we're doing resume 101 workshops. Maybe not relevant for graduate students, but we're also doing advanced resume workshops. Very much relevant for graduate students, those to master's communication programs. So take a look at that workshop list. I did also send out flyers to Sarah And for those that are online, I think you should really do that to speak on digital content. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of soon. I was talking about that for about 5 minutes. Those are the majority of the things that we're offering. Another main workshop, I'm including the workshop is Wired. Has anybody here heard of the Wired before or participated in the previous semester? One, you guys are all about careers. Okay, let me ask a different question. I should probably ask this when I got started. How many of you would like a job when you leave college? Show of hands. Oh man, there's people in the front room not raising their hands. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so go figure. You might want to work with a career center to help you secure the job that actually wants. Right? Appreciate the one guy that's really hard for shout out to you again, you win all the prizes. Why is our really the day before career day events. So it's called Prep for Reps. We're gonna have 24 recruiters coming from companies that are also going to be represented at career day. There's going to be a number of things going on. We're going to have a professional photo sheet there run by some of our students. So if you need to refresh some professional photos for your continued job search, this is what you do for really nice. Professional photos, someone say their jobs, can cost $300. So that's really get a opportunity to nice photo. We are going to be doing several events with our employers, including mock interviews, roundtable resume reviews, as well as elevator pitch reviews. We're going to be able to either elevator pitch, either preparing for career day, and they'll be able to help work with it. So we're really happy to have this event available. It's a great way for you to kind of get those nerves out and get that practice in the day before the career starts. Some of the other things that we're going to have are some campus partners, including counseling center, is going to be there to help work with students about any kind of anxiety, stress, fears you may have going into career day. That's very real, and we respect and honor that. And then we're going to have those services available too. We're going to have entrepreneurship and innovation there. We're going to have that team there for the conference, as well as MDGs in the university. So the campus partnership will be there as well. Great opportunity for the day before career day for you to be able to get some practice in and do that. Those are the main services that I wanted to go over with you all. I'll take a couple of minutes just to see, like, is there any specific questions that you all have about the services that the career center offers? Anything that I didn't cover in the career day that you're curious about? Yes, sir.
They are either seek or defined areas. My area is not also defined either. There is a position in the industry, but it's very limited, and most of the positions are through business connections and networks. So, in this kind of situation, what would you recommend? Yeah, we also help some, like we give some counseling to people.
Yeah, I'm just going to repeat that. I don't know if the other was working. I'm going to repeat that for the guests on Zoom. And what was your name? Manta?
Yes.
Manta had a question about he's a PhD student. Some of you know. He is worried that, well, his question is, looking at career day, there may not be as many employers interested in his specific skill set or what you're wanting to go into as a PhD student. And he's wondering what the career center can help provide in that case. Yeah, I think that's a great question. And, right before coming here, we're working on a tips and tricks article series. I was writing an article about setting expectations about what career day can actually help accomplish. And one of the statistics that I pulled out of national research to is that in a NACE survey that covered over 15,000 students surveyed across over 200 colleges, 46% of students that attended career day landed there. But only 25% of that 46% received a job offer after their interviews. So, career day is not the end all be all. To your point, right? We're not going to have every single industry represented. Your best, we're not going to have every single employer represented. In your case, what I would recommend if we were working together and talking about this, I would probably say, take a look at the app, Career Day Plus, see if there are companies that you are interested in, right? See if they're available and they're there. And then before Career Day, go on their website, go on the internet, see what positions are open. Look at the qualifications. If they're not matching up with what you're interested in, maybe.
Oh, sorry, that was your.
If they're not matching up with what you're interested in, maybe you just want to go and meet with the recruiter at that company, pass them your resume, talk with them, let them know what you are interested in, and see if there's a way that they can help you connect with somebody at their company, right? Or in somebody at another company in an associated industry that may be more aligned with what you're looking for, right? Lots of other things we can get into. I would also probably recommend you just set up the time to individually meet with the career advisor. We can focus really specifically on your interests and start helping you come up with strategies for your job search and setting goals for yourself in that job search. Does that make sense? Yeah. Other questions about career center services and about what career can offer? Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, one more time. I mean, what he was saying is that, probably going to be wrong. What he was saying is that, I apologize. What he was saying is that, badges is something you need to have printed before you can go to career day, right? To be able to get in, they'll kind of list your major, your name, your level of education. And yes, you can do that throughout the week. Also at the Wired events, the day before career day, we're going to be doing badge printing services as well. I mentioned that. For those of you, I know most of you are, all of you are graduate students, but for those of you that are graduating this spring or this fall, you will be able to get into the career days an hour earlier. So you must be graduating this spring or this fall of 2023. If you aren't, you will have priority in terms of getting into career day earlier before everyone else. Great opportunity to skip some of those lines. If you have been to a career day here before, it can get extremely crowded and see at least one head nod about lines. Yes. Thank you. Other questions? Yes.
So I have a disability, and it's not always like a tricky subject when it comes to like help that I have a disability or not. Who would be a better person to speak to? Disability support services. You guys.
Yeah, that's a great question. And what was your name? David had a question about whether or not to disclose a disability to employers and who would be the best tool to work with to kind of figure out a strategy for going about that. Yeah, I mean, I would probably say that starting with disability services would be the right way to go. Because they're going to have a little better insight into the realities, right, of those that are living with disabilities, right, and moving through and navigating life in that way. We do have resources at the Career Center as well. So I think that it doesn't necessarily have to be an either or. I think it can be kind of both situation where there's some good information you can get from them, and then I think we could augment some of that with like the perspective from employers and how you can take knowledge from both of those centers to really craft a strategy that works for you. Absolutely. I don't want to take up too much more time. I think I'm about 15 minutes in. So if it's cool, Sarah, can I pass it over to Cade? leave a lot of the materials here. Feel free to grab them and make use of them. All of these are available on our website as well. So thanks so much.
Sorry, I'm gonna try and close this. Can you guys hear us doing anything?
It is doing something. Really, you're good. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. And then I don't normally do this. And now I might do some strange things like this because I don't know. So my name is Katie Parsons, and I am the clinical outreach coordinator in the Mines Counseling Center. So basically, my job is to bring as many services to you all and make you aware of it and get connected as we can. Have a PowerPoint. All right. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Sweet. Sorry. All right, so I've got a PowerPoint here just to run through our services and make you all aware of what we've got going on is available to any students here on campus. If you have questions along the way, if I'm talking about or you see something up here that I didn't mention and you want to know more about, please just wait, stop me, and I'll stop and go more into whatever it is that you guys are curious or interested in hearing more about. I don't know, some of you, we had our kickoff last Tuesday, a week ago Tuesday. So we had our first official meeting of the grad student, the next level grad student support group. That happens in the counseling center every Tuesday at 3. So that is what flyer is being passed around. If you want to hold on to it, great. If not, just keep sending it down and I'll pick up extras at the other end. So we can save paper and hand them out somewhere else. So I'm just going to go over our services real quick here. So right now we have a growing counseling department, which is really great because there's an ever-growing need for counseling services, not just here at Mines, but across the United States and even the world. So here we just have a nice little intro pictures of our staff, which includes social workers, licensed therapists, licensed psychologists, as well as social work interns from local graduate social work programs like DU, Metro, Regis, etc. As far as the website goes, so as far as the website goes, really, like every website, you can find everything there. Okay, so this is where we have a calendar on the homepage. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a calendar of daily events that are happening, which includes all our workshops, all of our groups, all of our office hours that we'll get into. So that is a great resource. You can also like add that calendar to your calendar to have events pop up on your calendar. As far as one of the services that we offer are virtual drop-in office hours. So each day of the week, we have 1 hour where anyone can log on via Zoom and meet with one of our counselors for a consultation. So what is a consultation? That is a part where you can call, you can ask questions. It can be about resources. You can say, hey, can you teach me a breathing technique? You can say, hey, I'm about to have a difficult conversation and I don't know how to do it. Or you could call back and say, hey, I just had a difficult conversation. Can you help me process it, right? So the office hours that are available daily are for anyone to log in, and you will meet one-on-one with a counselor there. And then decide next steps if you need follow-ups, if you need to schedule an intake, if you need referrals, other resources. We also do phone consultations, which means you set up, again, it's basically the same thing as virtual drop-in hours. It's like 15 to 20 minutes to just say like, hey, this is what I have going on. How can you help me? Should I come in for counseling? Should I go to this workshop? You know, we might refer you out to other sources if it's needed. And usually when somebody, phone consults are the first step in getting connected to the counseling center. So when you call for the first time, they will say, let's set up a phone consult. You can also go to our website and select initial contact to set up a phone consult. And usually you will get scheduled to talk to somebody on the phone within a day or two, which is really nice because within a day or two, then we can help you figure out if we need to refer you somewhere else, if we need to get you in sooner than later. So you're not waiting a week to meet with somebody for them to say, you should call somebody else, right? So that's the nice thing about phone consults. We get in, figure out what's going on, how we can help you best. We offer workshops at least once a week throughout the semester. They are virtual wellness workshops. We call them wellness, the W squared at 4 because wellness workshops, and they're at 4 p.m. each day. These are the various topics that we have going on this semester. Some of these we've already done because we're a few weeks into the semester. However, if you go to our website, there's tip sheets and an overview of each of these. So if you missed one, you can go in the counseling center and click on our wellness workshops and get information there. We also offer, excuse me, short-term individual therapy and counseling. That is, you know, we can see students. We don't have session limits per se in our counseling center. So we're not ever going to say you've used up all your sessions and you can't come see us anymore. However, most of what we do, we try and do in 3 to 4 sessions throughout the semester for kind of each thing that you come in for, right? So we don't do the long-term weekly sessions that some people might want. We do our emotional well-being series. Those are series that are on topics like anxiety. There's one we have that is engineering college success, which kind of helps with organizing yourself, tips and tricks to avoid procrastination, and some of those things. We've got one that is the mindfulness in action, where it teaches kind of in the moment how to regulate yourself. So learning, you know, and these might be things that you do like during career day, or they might be things you do in the middle of exam or before or after you have a meeting with somebody to kind of help self-regulate. We've got support groups. We've got the grad support group. We've got other support groups. We've got survivor support groups. You can check those out on campus to see if you might fit into one of these. We've got academic life care. For those of you who don't want to meet in the counseling center, you maybe have a specialty or a special identity that you want to look for somebody specific. We have academic life care, which is virtual counseling services. They are free to all students. You register and then you can make an appointment for somebody online virtually. That is good for not just for counseling. There are psychiatrists that students can work with virtually that way, which is a good option sometimes when you have busy schedules. We also, as part of Academic Life Care, has urgent care. So you can talk to a physical health professional if you want some advice on something, as well as there's a nutritional counselor on there as well that is free. So that is something worth looking into, I think. We've got case management where we help get people connected to resources off campus. Like I said, for specialties or other reasons, we might be referring off campus, or for somebody who's like, I just want to talk to somebody every week. We can't accommodate that, so we will try and find the people in the community that can accommodate that. Wellness Wednesdays, if you follow us on our Instagram, we do tips on Wednesdays. Sometimes we do videos on Wednesdays, and they're all kind of wellness tips or things that you can do. You can go back and look at on Instagram. We also support You at Minds. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It is definitely geared towards undergraduate students. However, you all have access to it free through your Minds account, email account. And it has different articles on, from everything from nutritional to sleep to anxiety to, leadership skills. It's got a lot of resources out there that would definitely also be useful if you guys were looking for something specific to improve or get tips as far as that goes. As I mentioned and passed around, the next level is the Dropping Grad Student Support Group. That is every Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the Counseling Center. Did anyone, if anyone wants to raise their hand that they attended this, it was helpful. I know the kickoff, they had pizza, so a lot of people showed up for that. I don't know how it was today when there was not pizza, but and really this group is not, it's not a counseling, it's not a therapy group. It's a group to get together to talk about things that grad students are struggling with that are pretty common that undergrads aren't as worried about, right? It could be housing issues, it could be food issues and insecurities. It could be just being lonely and separate and living off campus or having trouble getting connected. It's really topics that you all come up with. Finally here, if we do not have 24-hour services through the counseling center. So we always make sure everybody knows about the Colorado Crisis Services. That is the 24/7 crisis support that we refer students to. They have a walk-in, so if ever you need to go and talk to somebody in person, you can do that 24/7. We also, I don't know if you guys are aware that in July, the National Suicide Hotline went from the long 800 number to now just 3 numbers, 988. And that is anyone can call for crisis or support. So I always say call or text before you're in crisis as a mental health professional. It is much easier to help somebody before they are in crisis, right? To avoid the crisis. So I always suggest, if it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday night and you're having panic attacks and you're worried, call the crisis services then, right? 11 o'clock on a Saturday night so that you're not calling 911 or having a panic attack where you can't breathe at 2 in the morning, right? I've heard students that have told me that they call the Colorado Crisis Services when they're walking across campus alone at night, right? So there's not really, I mean, I don't want to say there's not a reason not to call, because we've all heard strange 911 calls about, you know, things that are not 911. But again, really, they say nothing is too small. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling lonely, if you just want to talk to somebody, those are all acceptable. You don't have to wait till you're in crisis. So here is a QR code for our counseling center website. Also, we have these small flyers that I made that have QR codes. They're small QR codes, but they do work. This is on the table over there. We can pass them around if you guys want. The QR codes go to the different services on our counseling center website, because I will be the first to admit that our website is not super easy and friendly. So if you want to know about counseling groups and what's available, just scan this QR that says counseling groups. If you want to know about the virtual drop-in office hours, you can scan this QR code. So this is kind of the easy guide to what you're looking for on our website. I also brought a grounding techniques and breathing techniques flyer for anyone who just likes to have this kind of stuff on hand. It's just a breathing exercise and a grounding technique all in one. You can take a picture of it, you can take a flyer if you want, but those are certainly things that are helpful to have handy also at like 2 in the morning if you're waking up feeling anxious, or any other time that you're feeling anxious. Grounding techniques. So grounding techniques are techniques that get us in the present moment. So if we think about, and they actually come from grounding. So the real grounding techniques are being barefoot in grass and allowing the earth's energy and connection to get us grounded in that moment. The grounding techniques that are on here are things, so when you're really worried and stressed out, right, and you're thinking ahead, right, I have this project due, I have this assignment, I have to go talk to this person, to bring you back into the moment, and it is by tuning into your current senses. So what do I see right now, right? So, you know, as part of the technique, you know, counting how many blue chairs I can see right now. It's going through the other senses, looking around and saying, oh, what are the things that I hear right now? I can hear the whirring of the projector. I can hear myself talking. I can hear other side talk and those types of things. What are things that I smell right now? I don't know if some of you guys are aware that, you know, when there's a really bad, or sometimes really good smell, right? It can put you in a certain kind of mood and or waken you up, or maybe even make you feel sleepy, right? But it's putting you in your body. Also things that taste. So I know that when I'm in all day workshops, I bring candy because having that flavor in my mouth and something to do keeps me awake and from like drifting off and thinking about other things. So grounding techniques are things that we do to get ourselves in the moment and out of anxiety, which is like future kind of oriented, or shame, which might be past oriented kinds of feelings. So these are all available over there, as well as some counseling stuff. General counseling center things. Any questions about the counseling center, how to access? I know some common myths are that, number one, we have a waiting list. We don't have waiting lists. We've never had waiting lists. We do the phone consults so that we make sure that we get those people who need to be in sooner. And those people who just need resources, we don't make them wait for a week to get those resources. And that's what the phone consults do. Like I said, we don't have session limits, although we don't have the capacity to see students every week just for the sheer numbers of counselors we have versus students. I know those are some common myths. We do try and utilize community services a lot for specialties. But I always tell people, even if we refer you out and say, here, this would be a better fit for you, if it turns out not to be a good fit, you're like, I don't see that person, that didn't work for me, you can always come back. If we refer you out, that does not mean we don't want to see you and that we don't want to help you. So I always like to remind students of that. A referral is not a rejection. I have to come back if you need to. Any other questions? Thanks for your time and attention. Thank you.
Hi everyone. So we've shown you two resources. One, your professional path, which is your resume and all that for the center. We have the Cowley Center, which is the other half of being an adult, is taking care of your mental hygiene, frequency, taking care. I know you're kind of grad school, you're a first year and you're an international student. Sometimes you might feel overwhelming. I'm an international student, I'm a director, you're a grad student too. So use our resources is good. Sometimes you just gotta get out of your chest. So use them in there because the path to success is the additional every small thing you have. You have your professional and you have your personal life. You gotta take your both. So just a reminder to everyone to have a balanced life.
Just a quick reminder, we have already sent an email to the people who has taken the one credit course for this semester. Please let us know that you are looking for residency discipleships. We're gonna choose your date, and for the rest of you who has taken the course for 0 credit, it should appear on your canvas. The course, go there. There are video assignments. There are simple instructions. You can see that the name of the presenter, the topic, and a brief summary paragraph about each week's seminar. It's mandatory because of the semester is going to look into it. Please fill out the video assignments because after the deadline, don't worry, you can do them all at the end of the semester. At the same time, I don't suggest it. It's going to be a burden, but if you do it, that would be easier. But please fill out the assignments for each week. And feel free if you have any questions, reach out to the seminar committee, Sarah, Thank you very much. And oh, sorry, there's another.
I was curious, does anybody have any questions or helpful hints to help your fellow peers or stuff you guys are struggling with that you want to talk about? Anybody use the writing center?
Oh yeah,
Is
that's the
it
right
just
track.
Good?
So,
Okay, sweet. Okay.
Like I would just say, being a veteran and having like people that students of suicide, like reaching out is never a sign of weakness, and it's very important that that happens. Reaching out is actually a sign of strength where you are admitting you need help. So
Thanks.
that's just
appreciate
That's good. Yeah, so I do encourage everybody, like, make a community, talk to people. I like to leave my door open because I like to talk and have visitors. So if you guys have any questions, undergrad, grad, I don't care. Come by and say hi. I'm down with that. Anyway, thank you guys.
Let me just say, if you guys are going to the minor event, the counseling center is running the Zen zone, where we're gonna have some ways to help with grounding techniques and things like that, that you can try out then and there to see what works for you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Next week we'll meet here, and Jay Huntley is gonna be our procession. Super exciting.